best friend whispered, "We don't invite people like you anymore." While everyone nodded in agreement, I smiled, grabbed my daughter's hand, and left. Sydney texted later, "You're still making the cake, right?" I typed back, "Not my problem." The next morning, I sent one photo that turned their perfect wedding into chaos. The bridal shower was at Sydney's apartment. My 7-year-old daughter Juliet sat coloring at the kids' table while I arranged the desserts I'd brought. 20 women, all our college friends, chattering about the wedding next month. Sydney pulled me aside near the kitchen. Her maid of honor, Bethany, stood beside her. "Listen, Rachel," Sydney said quietly. "We need to talk about the wedding." "What about it?" I asked, still arranging cupcakes. She glanced at Bethany, then whispered, "We don't invite people like you anymore." I froze. "People like me? Single moms," Bethany clarified. "It throws off the table arrangements. Plus, Juliet would be the only kid there." The room had gone quiet. Everyone was watching. Some nodded sympathetically at Sydney, like she was doing something difficult but necessary. "I've been your best friend for 15 years, I said, "which is why I knew you'd understand," Sydney replied. "It's just one day." Juliet looked up from her coloring, confused. I took her hand. "We're leaving." "But you haven't even eaten yet," someone called out. I didn't turn around. That evening, Sydney texted, "You're still making the wedding cake, right? Everyone's expecting your famous chocolate creation." For 2 years, I'd been Sydney's personal baker. Every birthday, every event, free of course. Friends don't charge friends. The wedding cake alone would cost $1,800 from a professional. I'd already bought $400 worth of supplies. I stared at her message, then typed, "Not my problem." My phone rang immediately. I didn't answer. "Rachel, this is ridiculous. The wedding is in 3 weeks. Delete. You can't do this to me over one small decision. Delete." That night, I scrolled through my phone. 5 years of photos. Me doing Sydney's makeup for every date, driving her to job interviews, letting her crash at my place during her breakup, being there when her mom died, and one special folder marked Tom, Sydney's perfect fiancé, the investment banker with the Range Rover and the Rolex, the one who didn't believe in single mothers ruining traditional families. 3 months ago, I'd seen Tom at a hotel bar during a work conference with a woman who wasn't Sydney. They were very cozy, very intimate. I took photos, clear ones. I'd planned to tell Sydney after the wedding, let her have her perfect day first and waste his money. But now, the next morning, I uploaded one photo to our college friend group chat. All 23 women from the shower. Tom and the mystery woman kissing passionately, his wedding ring finger bare but visible. The hotel's date stamp clear. 3 weeks ago, I added one line. "Guess some people really don't deserve to be invited." The chat exploded. "OMG, is that Tom? 3 weeks ago? Sydney needs to see this now." Within an hour, the wedding was canceled. The venue, the caterers, the flowers, all non-refundable. $47,000 gone. Sydney called me 17 times. I answered the 18th. "How could you?" she sobbed. "How could you uninvite my daughter and me after 15 years of friendship?" "That's different. You're right. What I did to 30 seconds. What you did to planning and collaboration. I need you right now, Rachel. You're my best friend." "No, I was the single mom you didn't want at your perfect wedding. Remember?" I hung up. Bethany texted, "You destroyed her life over a petty grudge." I responded, "Tom destroyed her life. I just didn't protect her from the truth anymore." Within a week, I had 3 wedding cake orders from guests who'd been at the shower. Paying customers, full price. "Your friend drama is the best thing that happened to your business," my assistant said, looking at the calendar. Sydney's mom called last Tuesday. "She's devastated, Rachel. Can't you forgive her?" I forgave her the moment I walked out, but forgiveness doesn't mean accepting disrespect. She knows she was wrong about the single mom thing. She was wrong about a lot of things. Last night, Juliet and I made cookies for her school bake sale. She looked up at me while mixing chocolate chips. "Mom, why didn't Sydney want us at her wedding?" "Because she forgot that the people who love you when you're struggling are more important than the ones who only want you when you're perfect." "Is that why you showed everyone the picture?" "No, baby. I showed it because real friends don't let you marry liars." She nodded, then smiled. "Good. I didn't like Tom anyway. He said single moms were bad for society." My phone buzzed. "Sydney again. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Can we start over?" I showed Juliet the message. What should I tell her? Juliet thought carefully, then said, "Tell her we don't invite people like her anymore." I typed something softer. "We don't rebuild bridges with people who burn them for table arrangements." Sydney wanted a perfect wedding more than a real friend. She ended up with neither.